Blimey, that's a kite and a half. He's just about hanging on to that. It's dragged him out to sea already. Far too big. So hello. It's about 11 o'clock on Sunday the... oh god, I lost it again, hang on. Had it a minute ago, 10th. Sunday the 10th of October. And this is the Coast Path thing again, how to murder feet, something, intro, something. I used to be good at this. So yes, here we are again. This is Weymouth over there. That's Chesil Beach, and that is today. That's Portland, the Isle of Portland. It's an odd walk today. It's a circular walk, which I've not done so far, meaning that I begin and end at the same place. It's, oops, panning around too fast again. There's 14 miles around the outside edge of that island there. I have to get up on top of it at this near bit here. Fortune's Well, the village. Go on, focus. Get up onto the top somehow like there, and then basically just all the way along the island, around the end at Portland Bill, the lighthouse and stuff, and then along the back edge and back down to here. I'm starting and ending at yon car park here, see? It's nice. It means I don't have to muck about with buses. Complex route planning and timetables, and pretty much make my own day really. It's 11 o'clock, sunset's about 6:30, so if I... oh god, it's a bit close. So yeah, 7 hours at 2 miles an hour should be just about right. I think I'll be okay. Yeah, I mean the path start and end from last time is actually where the on the end there, where the town meets this isthmus, something like that, peninsula, whatever. But it's about a mile up there and a mile back, and I did do that last time. I just didn't record it because I parked in this car park here last time as well. So basically starting and ending at this car park, and then job done. Job's a good one. Afterward, and then next time it'll be off around the other end of Weymouth and off along the rest of the bay there. Sun, high overcast, a little bit misty. It's about, it's today 17 degrees it says, but there's a bit of a 10 mile an hour northerly wind, so it's keeping it fresh. It's good conditions. Lots of boats out there. We'll get a better view from those from the top, I imagine. But yeah, these are all still some of the cruise liners that are having to kill time until COVID's gone, or at least gone enough for most people to want to book cruises again. Right, I'm gonna make a start, and then we'll probably get a map out and things, although, you know, it's hard to get lost out on there, I'd imagine. But I expect I'll manage it. Speak to you soon. There we go. Proof I've not entirely made this up. Coast Path. Osprey Quay, half a mile. It's probably all there. Yeah, so this here Coast Path bit following an abandoned railway line, old rail bed of some sort. So it says on the map as well. Another big kite further down there. Good spot for it. I mean, Poole Harbour tends to be the best place for this stuff. I'm sure we'll see that in due course. It's quite a sheltered thing. So what have we got there then? Let's have a look. Come down to the beach. It's all these white pebbles. Very little seaweed. Big inland lagoon. Well, not a lagoon, sheltered bay, I suppose. Artificial breakwaters running from the end of Portland itself. There you go, see it along the end there. Keeps going along, out to a little castle thing there, then there's a gap out to the sea, and then another breakwater starts there, this one isolated from the land itself. That runs along, and there's occasional weird odd buildings on them as well. I don't know, naval research offices, something like that. There's another fort on the end of there, small one, and then another bit there, and then that one runs all the way up to Weymouth shoreline and the sticky outy bit of southern Weymouth there, making a massive sort of inland sort of bay, cove, lagoon, not a lagoon, I don't know, it's connected to the sea certainly, which is good for various water sports. Windsurfer there, coming in fast. A whole bunch of, what's that, some little school or club of some sort learning dinghy sailing. A lot of marinas and things over there as well. There's a bit of naval presence over there as well. What's that? Some sort of, I think it's some sort of fleet auxiliary, some sort of military oil tanker support vessel of some sort. Some small naval dockyard over there, and then yeah, all the way around lots of small sailing schools and whatnot as well, dinghies beached up and whatnot. Very impressive sort of engineering to build that sort of thing. And I think it was home of the sailing events for the London 2012 Olympics. Obviously London being somewhat upstream estuary city, so all the sailing stuff they did down here. I think they did the rowing somewhere else. Okay, right, let's crack on anyway. Got quite a distance to do today. 14 miles. Oh, I missed it. That guy was going downwind so fast that only the very tip of his... Look, he's doing it. I gotta show you. Show to you. There you are. Look at that, he's flying. That is the actual hoverboard, just got the very tip of the rudder keel thing stuck in there. That's amazing. Basically flying at that point. Wow. Bit of a map stop already. I'm lost in Marinaville. Check out that. It's like a bike rack, but really big for boats. Presumably there's a forklift truck somewhere capable of lifting something off the top of that, otherwise you're stuck. Have to wait for very high tide. So yeah, marinas, industrial parks and stuff. None of these buildings look older than 10 years old. So a big old redevelopment here. Right, so here's the map. I'm on the inset today. So I reckon I'm probably about here-ish somewhere. National Sailing Academy, yeah. So basically I think I need to go in there and then find a path through to the far side and out to the shore. That looks a bit go away. Busy forklift trucks everywhere. I mean, check this out. This is like you pull your boat trailer along here and use this thing to get up onto it. I don't know, weird. Anyway, very boaty. So yes, so I need to cut through the shoreline here to the castle, then it's up this really steep climb, I think, and then on to the top. HM Prison Verne. Yeah, I'm going to loop the loop today. I'm going to go around the east side first, come back up along the west side, because I think the west side will be nicer in the late afternoon by the time I get there. But yeah, it's a bit confusing. There's several different paths going on here. There's even a reference to the England coast path there, which I shall talk about more another time. But basically, yeah, I could go in here and round, or here around. Coming back's complicated as well. There's various options, by the looks of it. Anyway, as long as I get to the end and back via each coast, I think I'm probably alright. So let's crack on with that. Yeah, so just through there, Portland Castle. So I probably should have taken from a better angle, but look at this. I have no idea what this was, but it certainly isn't anymore. That's some fantastic abandoned building there. Good old school concrete. Hotel, flats, prison, anyone's guess. Well, I'm sure the internet would know. I'll have to look it up when I get some time. But yeah, so I need to be going up there basically. There's a path just over here. This looks to be my first big climb of the day. This is Castletown apparently. Big coast path under there and up and up and up and up. So a big old sustained climb up onto the top, and I probably won't talk to you till on the other side. Yeah, a lot of redeveloped ex-naval stock, clearly. Old naval bases and depots and things been sold off as redeveloped flats. This one's a big spanky new thing as well. Some sort of leisure centre there. Got a contrast between that and whatever that was. Anyway, time to crack on. Alright. So yeah, pretty much arrows straight down to sea level. Which makes me think, along with supporting secondary evidence, that this was probably actually a railway. People don't tend to build arrow straight long paths like that for pedestrians, certainly not long distance hikers. It's been concreted down the middle in the intervening time, but I reckon that probably was a railway. There's a bridge at the bottom that went under. There you go. See the old concrete thing on the side there? From the back, it's got no back. Don't know, has a look at the sort of 1950s office block, but let's say it's not been anything for a long time. I don't know why it's not been demolished. Loads of cars around the bottom though. Cars, obviously the car park's still useful, the building not so much. I guess it's just too expensive or dangerous to demolish. I've seen a lot of signs on the way here saying say no to the Portland incinerator. So maybe they're going to knock that down and just burn rubbish there, which I could see would cause a bit of local opposition. I mean, you don't generally see posters campaigning for incinerators, do you? Please build the incinerator as near to me as possible, it will save me loads on central heating. Not worrying about any of that, that's all next time. And look, that's last time. There's Chesil Beach from the end, sorry, Chesil Beach far away in time, from the other end now. Here. Did some hiking from the far end, there was a car park or a cottage or something, and a ruined thing on a hill. Don't know, it was a long time ago. Don't know, about 3 weeks or so. So I've done my house move. I've moved. It was largely successful. Yeah, a few things need doing. Change the tap, you know, that sort of thing. TV aerial needs looking at. On the whole, though, very impressed, very pleased. A frantic last couple of days, and then done. And in celebrate, I've reverted back to my default setting. That was my lockdown look. Lockdown's over now, basically. Time to get on with everything. Well, I think that's probably the case, actually. On the COVID stakes, I don't know really what the deaths are, down in the under 100, I suppose, per day or week, daily. Far less people in hospital now. And there's a stubborn, like 10% people 10 to 5% people who just don't want any kind of vaccines, despite them being generally available, easy and painless, and with very little or no side effects to anyone. So I think that's as good as it's going to get. I'm double jabbed, most people are double jabbed. Time to get on with it, I suppose. We're all dealing with lorry shortages at the moment. Future historian watching my films. No one has any petrol at the moment. It's been quite a furtive exercise. Of course, that all happened during my move as well. A time when I was required to be making about 7 or 8 car journeys of 7 or 8 30-mile round trips a day, just to move all my stuff. And in between each trip, ducking out to try and find some petrol wherever there was any. But, that seems to be easing a bit. What's up on there? Some ruined castle. Path doesn't go up there though. This is it here. Presumably we cut either left or right, depending on which way around the island we want to go. So yeah, everyone reckons Christmas is going to be awful because no one's cutting up any turkeys and no one's delivering them. And they can't get the drivers because, as it turns out, that Brexit meant that a lot of British people are going to have to work a lot harder for a lot less money. No one really realised that. Still, there you go. So that was Castletown over on the other side. I think you can just about sort of see the light business park down there where we started, and the car park somewhere around there. Yeah, I think my car's somewhere down there. I hope it is anyway. A very long walk today otherwise. So this is zoom. Quality camera work as ever. So I think this side is Fortune's Well, like the big town stroke village on the island. And then it's up and on top, and hopefully we're on top now. We've done all the heavy climbing for the day. I mean, the thing tends to meander a bit in my experience, up and down as it goes along the coast, but having now climbed up onto the top of the large slab sat in the sea that is Portland, I think we can stay here for a bit. Oh, you might have to pause and zoom for this one. I don't even know what resolution these get put on YouTube as, so maybe this is pointless exercise, but there we go. Yes, a lot about Portland stone, earliest Earliest public railways in the world carry around 81,000 tonnes of Portland stone dug up around here in 1865. Yeah. High-angle battery, Victorian military architecture, defend, redoubt, bomb-proof, etc. Burns Citadel. Prison of... I don't know, that doesn't look like it's in use to me, but I suppose we'll see more of it as we go past. Looks a bit overrun. It's all grazing land and common and stuff up there now. Yeah. Well, that's just confusing. It gets like that on here. Half an hour to Westcliff. Church Oak Cove. Church Oak Cove. That's not a typo. Castletown. No, I've done that one. I can eliminate that certainly. Oh, and Hardy Way as well. Right, so I think it's probably that one because I need to loop around the island and just probably come back along that one. So let's see. Grim. Apparently it's still in use. Looks a little overgrown. But I'm certainly not going to fly a UAV over it, even if I had one. Oh, this way, I suppose. Fancy's Farm. God. Father Ted-esque amusement park, is it? Fancy. Maximum security farm, clearly. Some bad animals. Yeah, I'm not sure what the difference between kangaroos and wallabies is, but these aren't rabbits. They look pretty chill. What are you in for, mate? Aggravated bodily assault? Yeah, boxing, innit? Unlicensed prize fighting, probably. Yeah. Strange place. I think it probably was at one time, or might even still be, some sort of occupational rehabilitation thing for prisoners. Apparently you can just go in though. There's a welcome sign over there. It just doesn't look very welcoming. Gotta keep walking. Might have been allowed to be filming it. There we go, one of the island's quarries. Portland stone, I guess. That one looks a bit fragmented, to be honest, but that's they're starting to try to fill this one, but looks like with topsoil. Don't know what's over there, the gravel, I suppose. Very distinct, pristine white. I think it's limestone, but don't quote me on that. That looks a bit more solid. You'd actually get blocks off of that, proper stones for use in building work, whatever. It's not so much the thing these days, more of a sort of Victorian and beyond that, I suppose. Great Fire of London, Christopher Wren's rebuild of much of the centre of London. The stone would have come from here, I think, but I could just be making that all up so I sound knowledgeable on YouTube. Anyway, you got the internet there, look it up yourself. But yeah, quite a few of these on the island, which is vastly disproportionate with the island's overall size. See these chunks of stone lying around all over the place up here. Yeah, I guess it's easier to work with and more local than pristine marble from Italy or wherever. Still a nice, brilliant effect though. Although I think it suffers from smog a fair bit. They're always having to sandblast the stuff on the buildings in London. One last lilac blooming there. The rest have all died and gone to seed. It's been a very mild autumn so far. We're, 10th of October. And I'm only just starting to see the occasional browning of the edges of leaves on trees. Still, that'll speed up in the next next month or so. A couple of sharp mornings. The trees will all give up and dump their leaves. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what temperature it is at the moment. It's like 15, 16, 17, something like that at the moment. A nice cooling wind, and I'm perfectly comfortable in short sleeves. Where are we going here, do you think? Oh, here we go, here's a clue. Coast Path, King Barrow Quarries. Nah, stick to the straight ahead, I think. It's going to be a bit weird, this one. A bit zigzaggy all around the island, but I think I'll find my way to the end and back. But yeah. All seeds now. Waiting to go for the end of the year. Occasional still purple one here and there. It's a strange landscape. It's very man-made, but neglected. It's all spoil heaps and abandoned quarries and big chunks of whatever. The island's seen all sorts of uses over the years, I'm sure. Military, penal, construction and quarrying resources. Certain amount of tourism too. It's quite a nice part of the world. We're starting to get to the far extent of the places I go in the car of a day trip, you know, from my home, my former home now in Basingstoke. 2 hours away, which is obviously why I'm here doing the park it and day trip strategy at the moment. But so there's a certain familiarity in some of it, but these are places I've generally seen as a car driving tourist, but with very little pedestrianism. But now I'm actually getting to see the backs of all these places and the other side of the places, so that's good. So yeah, still cracking on with it all. It's good. I think this September I'll have been at this 4 years. I'm anticipating finishing in the next, I don't know, I reckon I've probably got 4 or 5 days left, maybe less, after today. Those will be spread out over a number of Sundays as and when availability, and that availability will pick up now anyway, because I'm finished moving house and don't have to be hanging on the phone and email now waiting for stuff to happen. It's all done. You know, I've got a sofa on its way within the next 16 weeks. Apparently they build them from scratch. But apart from that, the internet gets turned on this coming Wednesday, and I think I'm basically settled at that point. So yeah, nothing that needs me to take up my whole weekends not hiking, so that's good. Back on the trail. So I'm anticipating mid-November perhaps, finished on the southwest coast path. At this rate, you can see through the gap there. We'll see more of that later anyway. But yeah, it's been good. I'm glad to be back out. I'm really enjoying today actually. Oh, hello. Shouting and clapping. Some kind of sports ball going on over fence. Ugh. Can't see. Just have to imagine. I like to think it's lacrosse. You just don't see that much nowadays at grassroots level, you know. Can we see some stuff over there? There's some stuff. There's another liner. And then that's all Durdle Door, Lulworth Cove sort of way beyond there. Yeah, they're still loitering. Yeah, they might be out there for a long time. It's going to be a long time before the cruise lining industry gets back into anything like normal again. You know, some of them are doing sort of half-assed, tentative cruise around the south coast of England type affairs, where they just basically get a load of people on board wearing masks and just go sort of ping-pong back between Weymouth, Southampton and Torquay or whatever. But it's not the real thing. Could be some time before we see the real thing again. Not my cup of tea really though, stuck on a boat for that long. You get bored on the cross-channel ferry. There we go, this is more like what I imagine an actual prison to look like. Although coming off the back of that one on the top there, I did actually hear like sort of dull roar of central heating exhaust coming from the top. So I think that looks like a ruined mound of ancient Iron Age hill fort, but I think it is actually a proper functioning prison inside. So there you go. So this one's a YOI, Young Offenders Institution, naughty boys school. Quite aggressively razor wired. Please report any suspicious activity. Ooh, well, I think I'll stop filming for a bit. Ignoring the massive "please don't film our prison" behind me. Here's an amazing view. Let's start left to right. So that's all Weymouth. And you can see the breakwater extending out in its various sectional parts. And yeah, there's like, I don't know, little boathouses, little office blocks or stuff, sort of along some of the sections of it. There's military vessels there. Oh, looks quite old and rusty. A decommissioned thing or a renovation or something. Yeah, following along. Osmium Mills, Osmington Mills, something like that. And then I don't really know beyond there. All more Dorset coastal stuff. I should be doing all of that in the next coming weekends. Lulworth Cove might be that one perhaps, maybe, I don't know. and all the way down to the end. This would be the Tilly Wim Lighthouse, St Adam's Head, etc. Yeah, all sorts of ruined, don't know what down there, quarry works, coastal defences, stuff. This is about as near as the path gets down there, so there's no right of access or anything down there, so I guess it's all either naval or private land. Right, let's crack on. A wonderful day I'm having so far. So it pulled the switch back on me. Well, yeah, we're going down to the rocky ruined foreshore after all. Which is fair enough, it looks like an interesting sort of place as well. That's wherever this goes, although it does mean we'll have to climb back up again at some point. Still, that's the coast path. Thought I'd get an easy day today once I was up, but no. Oh, the sun's coming out there, it's clearing a bit more nicer weather. Just a bit of a, oh, I don't know what that is, some weird massive building made of piled up stone. Who knows? Not sure I'm allowed to go up that end anyway. Just going to follow the path. Interesting though. Yeah, there's little sailboats out and about. So what's there? Just 3 cruise liners there. I'm pretty sure last time I day tripped here in mid full COVID, you know, there was about 7 or 8 out there. So yeah. Unusual little sort of wilderness. I say sort of, it's massive workings and a prison on the top and stuff, but yeah. This is the sheltered side of Portland, on the eastern side, the prevailing wind's from the west, so all this growth has more of a chance to settle. Some proper trees and everything halfway up. And you can see the Portland stone, the way it fractures and shatters into sort of regular blocks. That's what makes it ideal for the building, as well as the bright colours that look good on buildings as well. And that makes for really good rock climbing as well, because the stuff shatters and fractures in a way that gives you lots of handholds and footholds, but doesn't just, you know, turn to powder and come cascading down in massive showers of life-changing gravel. It's very good rock climbing all along Portland Island and along the south coast, a bit further down to the very end. I used to do a bit myself, like 20 plus years ago. Not sure I ever had the upper body strength even then. But so that over there, that's probably Durliston, St Adam's Head. Can't see it, it's not focusing, doesn't matter. And that's where me and co-host used to go climbing back in the day. Not sure either of us could manage it now. But yeah, very good rock climbing country around here, mostly because of that kind of thing. There's better faces further down the end of the island as well, but it's an example of the geology involved anyway. Right, let's keep moving. Oh, there we go, told you. What are they, top roping or belaying? I think they're hooking up as they go, yeah. Leading someone on the ground, keeping the rope taut. Just see that orange rope. Can't really make out the ropes there. Doing the job, though. Cool. Yeah, you have all these little chalk things with carabiners on. You wedge those into the rock gaps, and then you hook your line through it. That way, and then there's a person on the ground you can't see from here. He's actually got like a reverse abseiling gear on, and they brace against the rope if you fall. He's actually being lowered down now on the rope from his top loop. Doesn't look like they're actually so you can top rope, which means you just attach it to a fixed anchor on the very top and before you start. But it looks like these are going as they go. This is proper rock climbing. moving the pulley, as it were, up as you go. Just sort of see. They might be bolted on. Might have like purpose attached rock clips and so on. Yeah, good stuff. Takes me back. It's a young man's game, or a fit man's game anyway. I can't stand around dawdling here, giving them pressure by watching them. I'm just going to move on by, casual like. Wow, so about half a mile there, and there's it's about 50 or 60 people all along the base of the cliff. Different little groups. I don't know, maybe it's like local clubs or just people doing it anyway. Yeah, lots and lots of fixed anchors left in position. Don't know how trustworthy those are. You'd want to, don't know, test them before you put your weight on them, I suppose, but I don't know who's left them there. They're not, I don't think they've been set up by anyone who's come along today. I think they're just always there. Aluminium, they'll last a while in the elements, and it's quite sheltered this side anyway, which is good. No wind to blow you off. It almost looks like a perfect venue. I never knew about this place. Mind you, this was 20 years ago. Maybe all this anchoring and stuff hadn't been done by then. But yeah, little beginner faces on this end, I suppose. Just climb up a little bit. Yeah, you sort of stand at the bottom there holding the rope as your friend Claude goes up. So you're not really meant to use the thing on the top as a sort of as a pulley to pull them up the face. You're meant to climb up under your own steam. But if the rope's hooked through that and your friend on the bottom's holding the other end and braced for it, then it's not quite so fatally life-changing if you fall off near the top. You just basically work your way, you just sort of walk backwards down the slope as your friend feeds the rope through their pulley on the bottom end. Of course, the problem we always had, me and the producer, me and the co-host, come down here. The problem we always had is that I'm considerably heavier than him. So when it was my turn to fall backwards off the thing, I just ended up dragging him up into the air in a sort of humorous slapstick style, which I have to say didn't help my climbing confidence on a personal level. On the other hand, when he was climbing, I was bracing. It was nothing he could do would make me move, really. So yeah, you really need a climbing partner of a similar weight, ideally, if you're going to do the belaying thing. It's a lovely part of the world here. Really enjoying today's day. I mean, the cliffs come down and the paths come up to sort of meet, so I didn't have to do a massive climb on top after all. It's good. There's all little meandering paths down in that shattered stuff down there as well, down to the shore itself. Seen people fishing. Occasional bench down there, but this is the coast path, and we carry on. The sun's come out now as well. Look at that. Look at how the cloud bank's just sort of stopped. Massive big gap of sunny stuff now, I think. Good. I didn't bring any suntan stuff because I thought it's October, so I'm probably going to burn. Wow. Impressive old something. Castle of some sort. That's probably a sign. Church Oak Cove. Well, whatever it is, you can't get in there. Access bridge with a big gate, big fence on it. Extreme close up. Never going to win an Oscar for my camera work. I'm reconciled to that now. Alright, wants us to go down there now. Bizarre little getaway. A lot of sheds. And stone-walled little gardens in front of each. Church Oak Cove. Oppie? Crown Estate. Crown Estate Commons. So what the deal is with these sheds then. Maybe people are just allowed to rock up and build a shed without any kind of laws at all. Not sure what any of that means. Right, let's keep moving because there's quite a strong smell of sewage here. The rocky lunar blasted rockscape here. A lot of these are worked. Chisel marks on that one. Squared edges. Last leftover bits from when this was a quarry. Presumably it would have all been craned out onto boats, block and tackled or whatever. Not that far to the actual deeper water, I suppose, some pontoon or something, I don't know. I mean, there was certainly a lot of inland train stuff going on as well, up on the top, but because the easiest to get at stuff would be the stuff on the cliffs. You wouldn't have to dig a bloody great hole, it's all just there. And in a lot of cases, already fallen off the cliff as well, just lying around. Just need to square them up and then get them delivered. I don't know if they were on commission or whether you just made a load of square blocks and then some buyer comes along and picks out the ones he wants, or whether you've been just given a quantity and you have to get on with it. Bit of a shipping nightmare, I imagine. I have literally no idea how much that weighs, but I doubt I could lift that myself, even with levers. And some of this bigger stuff, yeah, like a 4-man lift or something, I don't know, maybe. And then what, onto a cart up the hill? Some sort of drag arrangement? Who knows? The internet knows, you can go and find out. Anyway, so I've passed a sign back there at Church Ope Cove, just in there, that said 2.5 miles to Portland Bill, which is the end, halfway point for me. And I remember there was a rather oversubscribed but well-stocked cafe there, so I might be able to get a fish and chips or something. Lobster pot or something it was called. I don't require actual lobster though, that's fine, you know. Just a cold drink and an ice cream would be enough. Seems to have suddenly got sunny. Weird cloud bank just terminating there. Alright, moving on. Time is it anyway? It's 13:27. Yeah, I'm about due for an ice cream and a drink. Got to keep moving there because I mean I don't want the sun's getting, days are getting shorter. Sunset's at 6:30 today, and that's not even clock changes. You know, I think clock changes means it sets a bit later again. That's at the end of this month. Spring forward, fall back. So the clocks go back an hour at the end of October. I don't know what that does. That makes sunset happen an hour later, I think. Does it? Clocks go back, 6 o'clock becomes 5. Oh, no, it sets an hour earlier then, doesn't it? Sunrise happens an hour earlier. Yeah. So I have to see how we get on with these shorter days and winter time on the remaining day stages. Still, this is all benign enough. There'll be enough light to see me back to the car, or at least back to some street lamps. So, not too worried about today. Right, let's keep moving then. Stop chatting. Looks like we've gone roadside for a bit. I think we're on the... I don't mind this one actually, it's nice and quiet. Quite wide. Nice grassy verge to walk along. Which no one's allowed to park on, which is nice. Yeah, so we're very much on the... So heading to the southern tip of the Portland bit now. Still a few villages scattered around the place. I don't remember what that one's called. And over there as well, I think just over this hedge another quarry, so... But yeah, it's not hugely populated, the place, although a surprising number of quite built up villages across what's a small island, small area. Sun's out in its late autumn magnificence. Glad I got my hat. So about just under 2 miles to go till halfway, I think, lunch break. Good. There we go, back on the cliffs. I don't know what they're doing out there. A gaggle of little boats in the same place. It's either fishing or diving. There's a shoal of fish there, and all their little marine pingy sonar thingies have told them that's where to be, or maybe there's a wreck, I don't know. I don't really know the marine wreck history charts of this area that well. They're all diving off of there, perhaps. Something's got them all in one place, so it's quite unusual for the sea. Maybe it's a naval battle. Brigandry in progress. Oh, it's turned out nice again. Still in the quarry landscape. Check this out. That's probably man-made. Extremely straight-edged there. And look, there's a crane of some sort over there. Leftover piece of industrial archaeology. Nothing elaborate, just timbers and steel cables, occasional pulley. I guess it, I don't know, yeah, it must have been there to lower these blocks into the sea then, well, into to waiting boats. Yes, look, quite deep near the edge. So you could have got a relatively shallow bottom boat to there. Winch the blocks down onto the hold carefully. Yeah, I haven't seen any sign that any of the quarries on Portland today are operational. I mean, yeah, it's a Sunday obviously, so perhaps they wouldn't be working at all, but they've all been sort of covered in lilac bushes and pretty overgrown. Access roads dwindled down to footpaths, that sort of thing. I don't know where, does anyone just, maybe people just don't build with stone nowadays, or maybe it's just cheaper to get it from like Indonesia or somewhere. You have different kinds of, you've got the world's geology as your palette when you're designing buildings nowadays, I suppose. You're not stuck with whatever can be found on these shores. Yeah, Italian marble or something instead of this stuff. I don't know. Oh, right, I need to keep moving because I'm going to get some dinner. It's getting a bit late for dinner, but 2 o'clock exactly. So that's okay. Had a fairly big breakfast on the way. The old garage forecourt special again. Cheese and onion slice. Yeah, you know, you can live on it, but it does taste alright, but it's not fine cuisine. No, I could do with I don't know, just something cold, to be honest. I'm not really in the mood for a hot sit-down meal at the moment. I don't generally when I'm hiking. That's the sort of thing I can get on the way back. But yeah, a sandwich or a wrap or something. See what's available. Cold drink and an ice cream, certainly. Yeah. People are all looking at something in binoculars. I don't know what. Is it me? Is it the very low-key naval battle going on over there? I don't know. Another crane. No, 3 lighthouses. Because, you know, they really don't want anyone to hit this thing. That's Portland Bill itself, the proper lighthouse. My tourist sense is tingling. That's going to be crowded over there. But that's where the cafe is, hopefully. That building there? Maybe. And there's another lighthouse here. I think that's the old lighthouse. I don't know. And then there's another one up on the top of the hill. On top of that building. So in case one breaks or something. I don't know. Maybe that one's just a copycat thing. You know, people just like to build houses that look like lighthouses. I don't know if that's the thing. I might have just made that up. And look, an unfeasibly large number of sheds. Now this has baffled me for a very long time. I've been here quite a few times, day tripping, being one of those tourists that I now loathe so much. And every time I've wandered along and I've seen this vast landscape of sheds. I don't know, some weird landowner thing or some quirky, antiquated parish council law that says you're allowed to build as many sheds as you like wherever you like on the end of the island. I don't know. Absolutely baffling. And every time I see this, I think, I must look up what this is all about when I get home. And I always forget. And I'm probably going to forget today as well. But then I start to think, well, actually there are some things that I quite enjoy being mysteries. There are some ignorances which are a pleasurable thing, you know. You know, everyone thinks that the mobile phone is the death of the pub quiz. Well, you know, you don't have to use a mobile phone during a pub quiz. Sometimes it's nice just not to know a thing, which is a bit of an anathema to me, being of a very, very scientific bent and upbringing. But there you go. Perhaps there's a mystery. Perhaps I can make up some ideas. Who knows? Anyway, let's keep on moving. Yeah, it suddenly occurred to me, watching those people watching whatever it is they're watching in the distance with their binoculars, maybe they're twitching or something. And I thought, 3 or 4 days, just 3 or 4 days before the end of this southwest coast path hiking challenge, it suddenly occurred to me that a small pair of binoculars would have been a really useful thing to bring along with me. I mean, this phone's got pretty good zoom, but it's not really the tool for the job. I think I might even own a pair, small ones that are about the size of my phone that just fold up, Mind you, I don't know if they might even only have like 4 times zoom or something compared to my phone. I don't know. But yeah, a small pair of binoculars would have been pretty useful for this whole endeavour. And I've just realised, that clear water. Oh, look at that. Just seen a fascinating thing. Look at that. It's all underneathy. Hollow arch thing. Cave. Cave's the word I'm looking for. Hollow undergroundy thing. Look at that, it's fantastic. And the water's so clear as well, look at all the kelp. I don't know how deep that is, but it's really clear. Lovely. Makes me want to just tombstone right on in there, but I won't because this phone wouldn't survive. And nor would I really. I don't understand. What does it mean? Why? It's like the most underwhelming haven holiday resort ever. It's like Butlin's Craggy Island branch. There are TV aerials on some of them and solar panels. Some of them have got curtains. There's a hint of long-term habitation about these, but most of them seem boarded up. It's very odd. Are they rentals? Privately owned? What's the dealio? What's this one got? Auntie Florrie's hut, always with us at the bill. There he wins. Dear, hut of the dead. I mean, I've had my fill of benches, certainly, but this is new. Very odd, it just goes and goes. No particular rhyme or rhythm to it. It's not been laid out by a central plan or anything. Someone's creosoting on there. Is it some sort of post-apocalyptic cult? I don't understand. It's driving me mad. But yet I don't want to know either. Paradox. So that's the last of the sheds. I saw a sign up saying Crown Estates. Maybe some private royal arrangement dating back to 1400s or something. Our legislature's full of those. I don't know if it's still illegal not to practice archery on a Sunday. That might have been repealed, but only in like 1997 or something. So this is Portland Bill, there's the lighthouse. Have a proper look at that in a minute. And there's the Lobster Pot Cafe, which I'm going to patronise enormously. Bit of a queue now. Just went to the shop and got a can and a bag of crisps. Off again soon. There we are, pointy stone thing on the end. Not sure you can see with this contrast, but it basically says TH 1844. Might be Thomas Hardy. They're mad on him round here. I'll have to ask. Very busy, quite touristy. It's a nice day trip though, nice place to come and chill. Not too crowded, even when it's crowded, there's space. Right, I need to crack on that way. You would be amazed how many of those you can actually rent and live in, take holidays in, B&B rentals and so on. They just close up the top part so you can't get in there where all the automated gubbins is, and then the rest of it's rental property. Search online, I think they're quite expensive though. Yeah, bit of an inland detour past the unwelcoming military installation. I think I'm going up to that cross on the top, which I believe is another one of those volunteer Coast Guard watch posts, so that'd probably be a good spot for the path to be. God, there's a pony trek. What was that, cavalry company? I don't know, what's the herd? Don't know, coming my way. I'll try and go around them. There's lots of different ways through here. Well, I think they all lead up to the top of the hill. Good. Right, so it's 14:47 at 2:45. I've got about 3.5 hours of useful daylight left, I think. It's getting late into the year. Yeah, definitely won't be camping from here on through till May. Day trips or nothing, I think. Right, yeah, back to the car, basically. Which I think is probably about 5 or 6 miles. 3 hours. Yeah, I should just about get there before dark. So, should be in for some fantastic sunsets in that direction then, because we're heading that way, and the coast is going to be on that side. And the sun will be setting into it, so should be good, some good displays as the evening comes on. I meander my way back down to Fortune's Well and the Chesil Beach again, far away in time. Yeah, splendid little day trip actually. I'd recommend it as one of those, you know, I don't have the inclination all the time to do the whole southwest coast path, but I'd quite like to experience some of it type days out. This is a good pocket coast path. Fairly representative of it, the whole thing. Not as many cream teas on this bit as you'd expect elsewhere, but good day out, good solid ramble, good circular walk as well, which helps. Good well maintained all day car park. A couple of shops and things on the way around. Good. Interesting scenery. There it is, Portland Bill. Magnificent. That's something you don't see every day. Ordnance Survey trig point of the dead. Not sure if it's an actual trig point or just in the shape of one, but interesting. Right, up and over and along. Can't see what I've got coming up. A lot of sharp cliff edge, but it's all relatively flat, slow climb, so that's good. Some grim old institution up on the hill ahead. Don't know, doesn't look like security. Government offices of the 50s or something. Don't know, I'll have a look when we get closer. Yeah, you get a better view of last Sunday's hike than today's. See it all stretching all the way along. I mean, this, theoretically, I mean, you know, you get a bit of distance haze going on, but you can probably see as far as start point here, just about, before it actually hooks around and goes out of sight. Actually, you get, you know, the view actually gets blocked by the headlands. One massive sweeping bay. Yeah. A long way. And I've walked it all. Yes, I saw the last of the Michael Portillo's go at this endeavour. Stretches of rather. So the last episode was basically Torquay up to the River Exe, all along there. Babacoom and Teignmouth, which I've learnt is now pronounced Teignmouth. And yeah, just more ambling and side treks and facts and having a go at things. He was out paddle boarding and jumping off of rocks and things. I liked it. It was good series. I mean, as this rambling YouTube odyssey shows, there's no point trying to film the entire thing. That's madness, especially for a television format. But finding interesting stretches and digging deeper, that's good. I liked it. More horses. Pony trekking around on this island for some reason. You have to dive into the hedge or something. Try not to startle them or get kicked in the head or whatever. Right, cool. God, are there people on that as well? I think that's a pupil. Yep, movement. God, yeah, the whole island's lousy with people clambering around on the edge of it. Oh. Yeah, some more backpacks climbing up from the edge there. So yeah, that all turned out to be just a business park. It was probably a horrific government something in the 1950s where the fences all collapsed and it's all light industrial units now. Ah, good, right. Oh, it's a lovely afternoon. It's shaping up to be that light, that shadow. And it's nice and warm too still. Maybe the last warm Sunday in October still. Alright, press on up to Easton, which is the village on the top corner there. Don't think there's any shot. And basically, according to the map, I had a quick look, and it is basically just like this. The path is basically this, all along the edge, right up to the far end where I descend down to rejoin the causeway to the car park. So shouldn't be any quirky switchbacks or diversions inland through weird estates or whatever. Should just be plain strolling along a relatively gentle incline to the top and then along and then down suddenly. So yeah, magnificent. I think I did it in the right order. Ordinarily, I suppose I technically should have done this side first and then come back along the far side, but it's nice to be going the wrong way for a change. Heading back towards Minehead in a way. Good. All those people swimming down there, paddleboarding. That's just lovely. And that sort of soft grass covering all the rocks. Wonderful. Bit of a Bond villain living room there. Coast path continues this way. Interesting. I was expecting some kind of offensive inland detour there, but nope. There we go. Look at that. Look at the view from here. I can see my car from here. So yes, navigate this cliff top to the end and then down through Fortune's Well. Back through the Osprey Business Park. And about there-ish, the car. Other side of the Chesil Beach dune thing, barrier. Can't see much the other side of it from this angle, but it's quite big, quite steep, isn't it? Time and tide have sculpted that into a massive sort of water break, sea break from all the stuff beyond. Try looking through the screen, not through your eyes. There you go. Cool. Let's keep moving. Doing well on time, but still a fair way to go. Magnificent. And we've really lucked out with the weather and the sun again, I think. Should be in for another fantastic sunset. Two visits in a row. Excellent. Yeah, getting there. More foreshore sheds. The next big fall from that hill, they're all going to get demolished. That's probably why there's nothing more substantial down there. Marvellous. Yeah, so this is Tout, one of those Tout Park, Nature Park and Quarry, Sculpture Quarry, rather. According to the signs down there that I'd look at a minute ago, there's around 40 or 50 sculptures in here, scattered amongst the rocks. Haven't seen any of them yet. Very well hidden. I think this is obviously the sort of place you'd need to spend a couple of hours poking about in. And I'm losing daylight, so I'm going to keep moving. But yeah, it seems fascinating. I'll have to come back here and have a wander around next time I'm down this neck of the woods. Actually have a look at the things. Right, up and away. Some sort of henge on the hill there. I left the path to come in here, and now I need to try and find it again. Never leave the path. Never leave the coast path. Never leave the acorns. Here we are. Pretty much the top and the end of the island, certainly. See one of the beacons there. Another of those baskets. Gondor calls for aid, etc. That's so we can alert our allies in Rohan if we need help militarily. Something henge there. Probably less than 50 years old. Various sculpture around here. There's the Olympic rings, because they're all very proud of their sailing during the 2012 Olympics, the London Olympics, around here. That's the Heights Hotel, the cafe on the top corner nearest. It's very good, good views. Dorset apple cake, very very thick. And that's just a garage. Okay, fine. So I need to try and find my way back onto the coast path, which I think might be the other side of this big, noisy, busy road. You can see Verne there that I came up through. I mean, the path up was all along there and round the corner, but the path down and off of it I think is off of this side somewhere. And of course I went into that sculpture part, which wasn't on the mission plan. I'm wondering if it's somewhere around there. I don't know, I'll have to... Oh, I see, maybe that's... Aha, what have we got there? That looks promising. Goes off down the far side of the cliff and I think ends up down on that sort of promenade, if I get it right. But we'll have to try and find it. Oh yes. Oh, look at that shadow and light coming along the... Is that moving? It's not really moving, is it? So I think the wind's coming from the north, so it'll be blowing parallel to the beach, so offshore, so that shadow won't actually move at all. Oh, whatever. Oh, this fortune's well, and yeah, I think there's my car. Somewhere in that car park. Hopefully. Never quite sure, but you know, it generally has been. Good, right, let's try and find a way down and off of here. I'd love to stop for a coffee in the old cafe on the top there, but I don't know if it's open, let alone whether I've got the time. It's only 4 o'clock. I've got 2.5 hours to get down to that car park, so it's not too bad. Nah, let's keep moving. Wow, here comes the drop. I mean, yeah, this is quite severe. Quite muddy, a few token steps, very Cornish, frankly. Glad I didn't hit this bit first. Glad I did this bit coming down rather than going up. Would have been a pain, quite a pain. Yeah. Yeah. Right, put the phone away because this is hard going. Probably end up down on that shingle down there, hopefully. Don't know if you can hear that. It's that soothing sea noise. And that sort of that after noise where it drags loads of pebbles backwards across the other pebbles. Unusual noise. I mean, they're very proud of their pebbles. I can see why you're not allowed to take any without permission. It's not like they haven't got enough. Might run out. I think that's probably mostly just stop people turning up with like dumper trucks and JCBs quarrying them. And yeah, enhanced sea defences up this end as well. These are relatively modern. Maybe the Chesil Beach itself's not quite enough to keep Chiswell safe. Oh. Yeah, I've got about 2 miles to go to the car probably from here. Well ahead for sunset, I think. Not sure if I'm going to wait around for sunset or just go home. I've seen sunsets here before. They're nice. And there it is. Rugged cliff top, so it's just yomping along. That big roundhouse thing. Magnificent. Portland Island. Pretty much done now. Just off along the causeway back to the car and home. Excellent. There it is. Chesil Beach. End on. This is the very eastern end of it. And it runs for about 20 miles or so up to Lyme Regis, I suppose, if you can go that far. West Bay. Don't know. Certainly the bit with the lagoon is 8 miles long. Just looking at it end on that way. All the various hills that they struggle up and down. Is that Golden Cap, maybe? West Bay? Don't know. And it goes all the way around to the Exmouth, Sidmouth, Seaton, Dudley, Salterton, Exmouth. And from there, Dawlish, Warren, Teignmouth, as it turns out to be pronounced. And on to Torquay, Branscombe, beyond. I think this is, I don't know, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, in its way. I think it's because I'm just quite tired and mellow, you know. It's very peaceful. This wind, it's a complete lack of wind. It's coming from the north behind and blocked by the land. It's just so calm. The sun's up in a cloud there. So it's not, again, it's doing that sort of clouded thing, making me think it's later than it is. Light's coming from lower. And there it is, Portland, which is fantastic, just as a single day trip, you know. Excellent single day stage. That sculpture quarry park thing, something I want to visit again, and I think I will. Actually bring the car here and make a day of it, you know. Next time I'm day tripping down here. Prison up on the hill. Apparently still an active prison. Looks all overrun, but definitely has central heating coming from underground. Maybe it's caverns or something. And yeah, it's a shingle beach, which are not my favourites, but you don't have to actually go on it. Nice pavement here, thank you. Yeah, lots of fishing people. So big with night fishers, beach fishing and so on. Oh, I'm having a wonderful time. My feet don't hurt too much, which is just as well, because I'm walking to work now. It's about a mile each way, 20 minutes. Should toughen my feet up, get me hiking fit. Just a constant amount of small hikes every day. It's got to toughen me up surely, or wear me out quicker, one of the two. Right, I'm going to carry on then, find the car. Oh, I have to cheat here. It's actually got a big old metal mesh underneath the top of it. Hold it in place. Kind of sensible really, but yeah, give nature a helping hand. Alright, I need to sort of do a little bit of this, but not much because I don't like it. I'll be down on the car park there, I think, and then I can just walk along the road back to the car park. Good. Did just a little bit of gravel to finish the leg off. Here. And here we are. Out of town retail park. Looks familiar from a different angle. Yeah, I don't actually know if this is the coast path at this point, but close enough, I think. And besides, walking on that stuff, well, not only is it hard going, but also the stones were bashing together so hard they were making my ears hurt. So I thought I'd come walk alongside this nice quiet road instead. Oh, there we go, Budgeons, Greggs. And it looks like they've got petrol too. I mean, by the time you watch this, they'll be out, but I'll have to come back this way with the car once I get to it. Which is just, yeah, about a mile up that way, I think, along this featureless pavement. That's okay. You know, there's a time and a place for a featureless flat level pavement with good traction and no slippage. Gets the miles done. Oh, sun's come out again. Yeah, I'm gonna have about 2 hours until sunset, I think. So I've actually done quite well today, better than I thought. Don't really remember stopping at all. That's okay, because it wasn't really that hard going. Once you're up that big old incline on Merchant's Incline at the back of there, going up to the top. Once you're on, it's pretty easy going. So a good section all round, I'd say. Alright, I'm just going to trudge along here and go places in my head while I do. Speak to you nearer the car, probably. There we go. So here is the car park. My car's just over there, the other side of that shrubs. 5 o'clock. So I don't know what that means. 11 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 hours all the way around, 14 miles. Yeah, why not? Something like that. Basically 2 miles an hour. I'm not going up to the end. I mean, technically I'm supposed to go to the Ferrybridge Inn where the bridge and causeway meets Weymouth proper. But to be honest, I did that bit and back again the previous time when I parked here, so I consider myself to have done that, and I don't think anything interesting is going to happen in that last mile. So yeah, next time pick up at the end there, where that road crosses, and then all along there, round the castle thing on the end, and then into Weymouth, all the way along Weymouth Beach, and then up the main bay up to I don't know where next. I'll have to check and work it all out. Public transport wise, Osmington Mills, something like that. Yeah. And then just a big old push along these cliffs. It gets a bit White Cliffs of Dover over there, although of course Dover's about 300 miles that way. So yeah, more to do on the weekend sometime soon. Just leave you with a stern reminder that if you are kite surfing, you need a permit. Yeah. Yeah, and so with that, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.